It's rare that horror film that's scarier if you have it on in the background while you do it a Sudoku puzzle than if you're actually, watching it. Damn.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn,
So
William
that says to me-
Bibiani.
What was the budget for Shelby Oaks?
That's a good question.
Well,
It crowdfunded, right? So
He
But then he
crowdfunded $500,000, and then he got given an additional $1 million, I think. Could be
Initial
wrong.
crowdfund was almost 1.4 million.
Was
The
it?
crowdfund was 1.4 million.
Yeah.
And then didn't it get some Sony funding or something?
Neon funded him, and I'm pretty sure I could have sworn they gave him $1 million, but maybe
I think they did, and a lot of help
Me-
from Mike Flanagan.
which cannot be understated, by the way.
Cannot be understated. X-Ray Go, you could. I mean, it's Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, so
Let's see. It's on 2.6 million worldwide.
Az, what was that cinema score?
C minus.
Ooh,
1,820. That's a lot of theaters. 1,823.
Dude, it's in my local theater. I'm really fucking surprised about that. I was like, holy shit, there it is.
Wow.
Which makes me wonder. I wonder what because how much marketing you've seen for this? Would you say, guys?
not a lot.
None.
Not a lot. Nah. A little bit on Twitter from Neon. They put up a Chris Stuckmann interview and him talking about it. Been working on this project for a decade, apparently, I was told by Mauler.
So what I've gathered from what his friends have said and some things from his own videos is that it's an idea he's been tooling at for as much as a decade, working on this film specifically for I think 5 years. Like it went into pre-production 5 years ago.
Yep.
In a significant way. So yeah, it's a major passion project baby of his. I can't imagine he's super pleased with the result so far. I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to it.
I haven't
just
seen
yet.
it either.
Oh, it is coming out on the 29th of October
tomorrow
at my local cinema.
Oh,
yeah, I can see it tomorrow if I wanted mine.
So in the UK, it's coming out tomorrow.
Are we gonna click the 90 reviews? Is that gonna happen?
Decently scary mix of found footage and narrative horror.
Decently scary.
I know what does.
Jesus, like that's a fresh rating. By the way.
B. I gave that a B. I thought that was an 8 for a second then, and then lost my tish. Shelby Oaks feels less like a debut from a new voice and more like a patchwork quilt of borrowed ideas from better, braver films.
I've heard this from a lot of different people that it is you can see all of the influences on it, which I think there's a version of the film that could be good while saying that,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of films get inspired and stuff, but the connotation with everyone saying this is that it's like a bad copy of a lot of stuff. I'll be curious because like the major ones I've seen are Blair Witch Project, The Ring, and Rosemary's Baby. There's like 3 major films that he's clearly been influenced by, which, hey, it's fine. It's just it depends on how it turns out, I suppose.
Yeah. The 7:30 show tonight in my local theater, 3 tickets have sold.
Shelby Oaks hints at the promise of a new original horror vision, then traps that vision in an ode to every cliche in the book. Stuckmann recycles real-world sites to effectively immerse audiences in the unsettling stillness of the fictional community that he really wished he could call Silent Hill, but called Shelby Oaks.
Mm-hmm. The haunting.
Not awful, but it didn't come together for me. Great Phil's reviews for Jeremy Johns.
Dude, imagine having a good 38 seconds with your lover, and they come out with not awful, but it didn't come together for me.
Look, somebody, I get done. Look, and as long as I'm done, when I'm done, everyone's done. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy Johns, whack whack. It comes across as a bit indulgent at times.
Did you watch his review? It's quite funny.
Is it?
He's like I don't think he's particularly mean or anything. He's
sure. He's not a mean guy.
No, he comes across authentic, honest. But he does say like there are, and he names a few, but he's like, there's a lot of writing issues, a lot of confusion, a lot of logistical stuff, a lot of like, why would someone do that if they were in this scenario, sort of things. Which inevitable, I suppose, especially on a big project, lots of different things happening. But I think he said, I could be misquoting, but he said like, it might not bother you if you're drunk.
The movie just comes across as slow to me rather than slow burn. But you might be able to look past those flaws if you're drunk. Yeah, now I'm Stuckmanized.
Okay, so I want to focus a little bit on where these reviewers come from.
Sure.
So we got, go to the top, X-Ray Girl. We have Assignment X, The Only Critic, Sarah G. Vincent Views, Spectrum Culture. Oh, we live in a Spectrum.
Is that
Rogers TV, Austin Burke, Flick Fan Fiction Nation, Flick Fan Nation, Rachel's Reviews. I listen, no shade on Rachel's Reviews, but I went to the YouTube channel. Not big. Okay, Jeremy Johns,
the guy from Certified Forgotten.
She is, but
that's funny.
Certified Forgotten. Morbidly Beautiful, Cinemalog. Oh, there's the LA Times. Okay, there's
there
something.
Hey, top critic.
The
New
horror
York Times.
greats.
There you go. Daily
Always
Beast.
do.
Oh my god.
You're not going to read
Green
the top
Rant.
critics? These are the guys that know cinema, Gary.
Who was there? Was it Toronto Star top critic?
Movies and Munchies.
There was a
Fresh
Guardian there as well. The
Okay.
Wrap.
Did you see the one that said something about a Sudoku puzzle? Hang on, scroll down. It's the first top critic. It's rare that a horror film that's scarier if you have it on in the background while you do it a Sudoku puzzle than if you're actually, watching it. Damn.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Damn,
So
William
that says to me,
Bibiani.
Jump scares will just pull, there aren't too many horror films exactly like Shelby Oaks is probably a compliment. That same uniqueness also ends up amplifying our disappointment.
Wow.
From what I've gathered, the cinematography is really solid, and like the broad direction seems to be pretty there. It's just the script is giving everyone trouble.
A skillfully made pastiche of horror movie tropes and influences. Writer, director, producer Christopher Stuckmann both knows and loves the genre. Unfortunately, Shelby Oaks is also a slow burn that doesn't deliver an incendiary payoff. And that was a thumbs up.
Dude, I was going to
Wow.
say, the fucking fresh ratings are all like backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, decently scary. That's such a weird way to describe a horror movie. Like, if you said to a friend, it's like, oh, you got to watch this. It is decently scary.
Here's another thumbs up. It's not as special as it truly could have been, but there's always some uneven footing in the journey towards creative contentment. Contentment. That's a thumbs up.
I don't understand that.
That's what you say
Well,
to your fucking 5-year-old when they just like scribble on the page and go, "It's you."
Well,
Boom.
part of the change of Rotten Tomatoes was making people go through a bunch of hoops if you're a viewer, right? And this was all because of Captain Marvel. And then bringing in a bunch of sites to water down the top critics. If you go to top critics, let's see.
25.
Wow.
4 fresh, 12 rotten.
What's the all audience? 54. So it's pretty
57.
pretty much the same.
even,
So that's why they brought in all those other critics from places. You know who like isn't on Rotten Tomatoes probably because he hasn't asked is Critical Drinker.
It doesn't need to be.
No, he doesn't need to be. But
He's
think
doing
they would-
way better.
you think they would just give it to him, you know?
I think what surprises me about all of this, right? So, which do you guys which would you say is the fairest aggregate out of all of the ones? So, like Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, IMDb. Which of the aggregate score would you think is the most reliable? Obviously, none of them are, but still.
None of them. Probably
Yeah.
Metacritic.
The Metacritic user review.
Yeah, the Metacritic user review. It's harder to tell with Rotten Tomatoes, but they're TV reviews, which don't require you to prove that you, because they couldn't. They tend to be a
Well,
little more accurate.
If then we go with Metacritic user reviews, it's user score 4.5 out of 10, which
Okay.
I'm honestly surprised about. I don't really understand, because I would have thought even if the movie were bad, that it's Chris Stuckmann, right? He's like borderline internet darling culturally, not with our spheres, but a lot of people get very defensive. Do you remember when, like, I think Jay Longbow made fun of him on Twitter and she got fucking blasted by so many people like, oh, he's actually a very wonderful startup. He's trying his best. He's working really hard. Like, being mean to him is so fucking rude. Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yeah, but he's being cringe. You know, it was the whole thing about, like, I won't review because it's negative, all that shit.
I want to say immediately right off the bat from the beginning, my channel's not going anywhere. I'm not going to stop making videos. I'm still going to make videos. They're just going to be kind of different, and they're not going to be the same as they were before. I think it would be strange for me to say, I hope you guys see my new film out on October 23rd. Also, Tom and Jerry is really bad. Like, that would be weird. You know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't make any fucking sense. Look, I didn't expect anything going into this movie. I was just going to watch it and review it. I am honestly really shocked, though, that these films that just don't really care about kids just keep getting made. There's nothing in the film that a kid can watch and think, oh, that was special or that meant so. It's just a thing that can be on while they're sitting there eating their fucking alphabet soup. The best thing I can say about the movie is that they released it. It got made. It's a real movie that's out. And I guess it probably employed people, which is fucking cool. People made money. People paid their bills. I'm going to give Tom and Jerry an F. I could really make a good review of this, and I could really talk about all the problems with this and just really let them know how shitty they did. I find no joy in that anymore. I just don't. A few years back, I stopped doing my worst of the year videos for that same reason. And ever since then, I've had a tough time enjoying negativity about film because I love film so much and I want to be a champion for film. So I am going to distance myself from film criticism.
So I would have thought that you would have been, for lack of a better way of putting it, love bombed with this, right?
Yeah.
Like, give it a high rate. And I even think that some people would justify it as being like, it doesn't matter how good the film is, we need to support this sort of
Indie
event.
creators or blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah, YouTuber turned film creator, blah, blah. But like, man, I'll be honest, like, seeing 41 and 4.5 is like, jeez.
I have no love, Chris Stuckmann. I find him boring as the day's long, and I've never held any stock in his reviews whatsoever. And I know that sounds nasty, but it's not. It's just an opinion. It's just an opinion about somebody. I'd rather go. There are plenty of other people I'd go elsewhere. That's how I found Drinker. I found Drinker entertaining in his reviews. It's how I found Angry Joe with games reviews, not his movie and TV stuff, which is the worst takes I've ever heard on fucking planet Earth. But to give Chris some credit, because I know he's been elevated quite a bit here. He is at least doing so. You know, he is going out and creating something.
Sure, yeah. No, yeah, he's absolutely pursuing a dream, and I think that's
you
very
can't
cool, very
knock
awesome.
somebody for pursuing a dream.
No,
And
of course not.
for the record, I'm not trying to imply, wow, the film must be truly, absolutely awful to get these scores. I'm just kind of confused. I don't know why. I would have thought like I said, his fans would have given him a big old leg up, because the film hasn't even had like a broad, big talked about release yet. I mean, it's only been out for very briefly.
Yep.
But isn't this the reality of, right? You and I, we have written a story for the Rippaverse. We put out a comic. We sold over $500,000 worth, 515,000. We sold 13,000 books. That was us pushing it to our audiences here on YouTube, right? There is I think a huge difference between pushing to your audiences on the platform that you exist in than being out into the ether and trying to push it there. Then I think there becomes, you know, a much there is a much just larger world in general. and all the people who may support you on YouTube, may back you on YouTube, etc., they can easily get drowned out by just Joe Public who wants to, there's a new horror film that came out. I thought it was nah. And you don't necessarily, it's very difficult to get somebody to get off there. Like with us selling our book, everybody could just be watching us on a stream and then go order Saints and Sinners, bang, there and then. Big difference from doing that than saying, can you get up? Can you get in your car? Can you drive to a theater? Can you part with your money there? Can you watch, there's a big difference in that as well.
I think because a lot of them reference it right in these reviews, be like, "Oh, YouTuber turned director," blah blah blah. So it's like they know, but I think you might be right about a lot of them don't have any kind of allegiance. In fact, some of these people I think enjoy being like, "Oh yeah, Mr. YouTuber, you think you can do it? Let's see." You fucking couldn't. Like, they don't actually know anything about him, but they have a bit of a thing of, you think you can just come into our sector and dominate. Look at you failed. So like a little bit of animosity maybe, but no, you're probably right. A lot of these people are they're watching movies and making reviews. They don't even know any context. They're just like, well, that was a horror movie, meh, moving on. Because ultimately, however good a thing is, it's going to be how it makes you feel. And if you feel after watching this horror film in the month of October near Halloween and you come out going, wow, that was decently scary,
maybe.
Well, I'm saying that as a negative. If you come out saying decently scary, I wonder how you feel when you get home. You're on your phone and you're like, oh yeah, I did watch Shelby Oaks. Shit. Oh, I got to write a review of it. Yeah, it was the characters and doers and blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
like
there seems to be an ongoing, I mean, there wasn't many reviews. There was 19 or whatever it is, but there was a couple of 3 or 4, but they all essentially said, it's just taking tropes or taking what's already been done and just sticking it together and seeing if that works. But one word we didn't hear anywhere was original.
What's interesting about how criticism works is there's one major one about the plot that I've heard from basically almost every negative review, which is the, I guess, third act or something.
Waff.
Main character gets information that her sister may very well be, because that's what the film's about, right? The sister is missing. I'm going to go spoiler free here somewhat, just in case. But that she may be in this. There's a abandoned prison, which is the same prison they shot in for Shawshank Redemption, which everyone keeps mentioning as well. So cool. But she goes there to this spooky abandoned prison to find what she believes may very well be a kidnapped sister alone, and it's like.
Not the greatest idea in the first place.
It's the kind of thing where I'm almost surprised because obviously I haven't seen the film yet, but the fact that everyone has said this, I'm pretty sure it's a thing that happens in the film. I just be like, Chris, that's weird, man. Like, you should know, you got to justify that. You got to put a clock on it, or you got to have her not trust authorities in relation to this or something. Every film has to get around stuff like this. The same goes for like when you watch a film from the 70s and the 80s, you're like, oh, they don't have to worry about mobile phones. Like ruining the whole fucking plot constantly, which is some of the horror films these days have a lot of trouble with because it's always like, oh no, I dropped my phone.
Got no
oh
signal.
no, there's no connection. Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Out of battery. Oh no. So it just takes time to sort of solve these sorts of things. But I don't know. Just there's apparently a lot of stuff like that, and I was just like, that seems odd because he's so familiar with the culture online of what. And you might be like, oh, who fucking cares plot stuff? And it's like, yeah, I don't know. Apparently, so a lot of people care.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes from like Silent Hill, for example. The people who the protagonists or the additional cast, they don't know what Silent Hill's become. James got a letter from his dead wife that said, "Come to Silent Hill." The last time they were at Silent Hill, they were there together in better times. So them turning up and realizing that the place isn't as it seems becomes the secondary mystery to them initially. Having something else happen, come to this place, says dead person. So there's knowing that you're going to be going into an abandoned prison, for example. Just off the top of my head, I'd be like, well, you wouldn't go alone, so we need to find some way to either bring people in. Now, those people could obviously be killed off. Something could happen to separate. or all manner of stuff could happen, but you wouldn't just. I mean, even me as a grown man, I won't go to an abandoned prison on my own.
Well, yeah, forget the
That would be
spooky stuff.
crazy.
I mean, what if you fell? Or I mean, like it's like hiking alone. I know people do it. It's fucking stupid. It's stupid, but people do it.
And then we always hear of the hikers, even the most professional or most seasoned hikers. They go off on their own. They got in a little bit of trouble. They're dead.
Yep.
Bang. So yeah, it wouldn't be too hard to work another person in, a husband, a boyfriend, something to bring in that could affect the plot as well. We'll find. I mean, the only way we will find out is if we go watch it ourselves.
Yeah, I'm
some
not
of
going. This is the one thing I ain't doing.
There's a review here. It says Shelby Oaks was obviously written by a critic, one with a near legendary knowledge of pop culture archives, and it's directed with a palpable confidence that could lead to better things.
Oh,
that's a fresh review.
That's a backhanded one again.
Yeah, I mean, so many of the fresh reviews are just like, wow, that was like, ow, okay.
The only people who really put stock in RT is Hollywood. They're the only ones who put stock in their own awards now. So
I feel kind of bad. I could tell you someone who really puts stock in Rotten Tomatoes. Do you know who?
Who?
Chris Stuckmann.
Yeah.
I remember years back, he was over the moon excited that he'd been accepted as a viable critic on there. Like, you have to, sign up or whatever. He was like, I'm a critic. I count as a critic on there. Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes, man. It's not for us, but for him, it was like a prestigious thing. So can't imagine he's very happy with his film being rotten on there right now. But hey,
well, that's the way of the road, Bubbles.
The way of the world. Put yourself out there. That's gonna happen. But I hope he becomes a great filmmaker.
The best thing I can say about the movie is that they released it. It got made. It's a real movie that's out. And I guess it probably employed people, which is fucking cool. People made money. People paid their bills.
But you might be able to look past those flaws if you're drunk. Yeah, now I'm Stuckmanized.